And welcome back to another episode of All of Fabric 5, where today it's time to craft that Implosion Compressor. So I've actually just gone through and checked out all the machines and saw what was happening, what was ready to go, and we can now craft our 16 blastproof casings. And I'm just going to kick this off because this might take a while. But yes, I guess I probably should have manually crafted all of that into tungsten ingots first, although it looks like it's kind of crafting reasonably fast, and I doubt the machine that's making these things, I doubt it's going very fast. Which one is it? Which one is it? The packer. There we go. I mean, that's actually kind of fast. But we're keeping up anyway. So yes, in between episodes, this has just all been AFKing overnight, so we've finally processed enough tungsten, which I did think might be the case, but yes, it's certainly going to be a lot nicer once we get this blastproof thing, and then we can stop. I'll probably just completely get rid of this, and we're going to be getting that industrial TNT going. I think is probably going to be a good choice. We have this titanium machine casings, and in here somewhere is the Implosion Compressor itself. We're kind of just waiting on those blast-proof casings. Yeah. Now, interestingly, we might have to go for a slightly different input hatch. Oh, I guess we can have multiple. And the reason I say that is... Oh, this isn't bad, but it's tungsten. Tungsten's a little bit annoying to craft. It takes 3 inputs, and all of the inputs we've been using so far only have 2 slots. But I do suspect that perhaps like a advanced item input hatch or turbo item input hatch would hold more things, and I guess we try and get one. Does an advanced item input hatch hold more things? Yes. Cool. That solves that problem. And then we could probably just get I'll get a steel output hatch. Wait, we don't have to craft chests. And I think I may have just spotted what is causing everything to get jammed up occasionally. The craft for the blast-proof casings kind of mucked up and stopped. And so then I just started crafting it again, and I saw that this pattern provider was starting to put things in this interface, which is not great. Not great. So this machine was full of all these ingots, and this pattern provider kept trying to put more in here. And I didn't see it putting stuff in here, but maybe you can't have these things touching each other. That's actually a bit of a problem. That's actually a bit of a problem, and that does explain why I've had like weird crafts stopping. Now I think this would have failed. Once again, because it still thinks it's crafting a bunch of blastproof ingots, but it didn't. They just ended up getting put straight into this interface and getting sucked back into the system. That's not great. That's not great, and I don't quite know how to avoid that. I don't want to start more of that crafting just yet. I might just manually make the blast-proof ingots. I don't think they're not stuck in any of these barrels. Because if I just try and craft more, it's not going to know that it's got some of those ingots sitting in there, and it might try making extra ones. I don't know. There's one more. But what, it still thinks it's crafting 99. Oh, I just cancelled it. That was the wrong button. So we want to craft 99 of these. And actually this would be a good opportunity to see it get stuck. So let's chuck stuff in here. Yeah, see, things are ending up... Why do you end up in here? That is not where you're supposed to go. And then it jams this up. That's an issue. Alright, slight detour happening. Slight detour. I'm going to get like cobblestone generation sorted. So these things I noticed in Purple Dino's base, which I didn't show on camera, but just when I was out exploring, I came across all the way back at spawn. That was quite a cool looking base. somewhere down here. Kind of cool looking. I quite liked it, like a granite factory looking thing. Haven't seen them online for a while, but then time zones might mean I just haven't noticed. But these steel barrels are kind of like storage drawers, in that you can store like one of a particular type of item in there. So we're going to use them in pretty much the same fashion. So we're going to have our cobblestone generator running all the time. And then we're going to have, and actually I've kind of done this in a silly way. I actually want it to be like this. So cobblestone generator here, because we want some of this to get turned into gravel and some of it to get turned into sand. Now this is going to stop the power from connecting, but that's okay. Connect that back up like that. I'm hoping I can do this. So if I were to get some item pipes, and we've got a whole bunch of them here. Now these are kind of slow. And I don't want to do that. Guess we'll have to just connect it like that. And we'll connect that like that. I guess this can be input-output. Now, unfortunately, I think this is kind of going to break a bit. So you will extract, and let's just get cobblestone, gravel, and sand in our bar. Make it a little bit easier to deal with. So you're going to extract cobblestone. You are going to insert cobblestone, and he's going to start chucking in cobblestone faster than he makes it, which is going to be a problem. You are going to accept cobblestone. Now we can't do input output, actually. That's going to be an issue. No, we should be able to. That should be fine, actually. We should be able to input output cobblestone. Gravel, actually no, the gravel's going to muck all of this up. You're going to not that. You are going to insert gravel. And you could actually be input output. And you are going to insert gravel. No. Every time, and then you are going to... I might just stop this from happening. It's not really going to stop things from being connected, but it might make things easier to follow. So you're making gravel. Should you not be inserting gravel into here? No, you need gravel in here. It's not quite what I want. I think he's going to end up processing gravel at some point. Yeah, because you can't set individual inputs and outputs. Now, can you... I think you can dye item pipes. I thought you totally can, and then we could do the separate inputs and outputs, which we might have to do because I think he's going to eventually get gravel in here. And yes, look, he just did. Okay. So we'll go... This will just insert. This will just insert. And then we'll dye some cables and do the outputs differently. And there we go. That's going to work. That's going to work. Now, of course, it's going to result in most of the cobblestone getting turned into sand up until the point where it fills the steel barrel, which holds 128 stacks. So that's quite a bit. But eventually, this is going to back stuff on sand. We'll have heaps of sand, we'll have heaps of gravel, and we'll have heaps of cobblestone. And then my plan is, can we just... you can't quite use it the same as storage drawers. That was weird. My plan is just to chuck some ME storage buses on the top. And then hopefully we've got 3 spare channels somewhere, I suspect. Probably here. And then eventually, let's, I guess we go to the middle. Eventually we'll have a whole bunch of the stuff just sitting in the system. Which will be handy, because sometimes I run out of it. And do these use channels? I suspect they do. They definitely do. Still got like 7 channels. But cool. That's that done. We should have our blast proof alloy plates are finished. I just need to manually craft these. There's our blast proof casings. Neat. And then we go and set up this implosion compressor somewhere, and that looks like that, which is pretty cool. I guess we could chuck it right here. There's kind of a gap. There's kind of a gap. Is this going to fit inside a chunk? This will still just fit inside a chunk, so I think that'll be sweet. Right. Now that we have this implosion compressor, we can do things like these recipes. So we've got the blastproof alloy ingot. Now this still needs that mixed blastproof ingot. And I don't think there's a way around this. Because we're trying to get the blastproof plates. These have to be crafted in a packer. And these can either be compressed into the plates or implosion compressored. Right, so we definitely want to go this route. So these will be implosion compressor recipes. We need to know how to make industrial TNT, and flint is actually just a crafting thing, which should be fine now that we have gravel in stock. And actually, if we have a look at sand, got 2,000 stock, and it's slowly building up with our cobblestone setup over there. I also just quickly set up some clay recipe. And 64 clay equals 64 sand. Well, 64 sand becomes 64 clay, rather. And that is for a thing we set up at the end of last episode and we haven't touched on today. And that is, how did the simulation chamber go? Well, our data model is now a superior tier. Still only costs 100 air tick, so that's kind of cool. And yes, we have a bit of this stuff. We've got 15 pristine overworld matter, which I'm actually kind of tempted just to see what we get out of this. We'll do a more permanent setup at another point. I just want to hopefully extract all this stuff and see what we get from this matter. Because I don't think there's anything. We could make a matter condenser. I suspect that turns like the normal matter into other stuff, but we don't have any of this yet. Yeah, I'm curious to see if we get anything super good. Sugar, ender pearls. Oh, chicken nugget. I mean, that's all right because then we'll have a bunch of chicken nuggets to eat. Yeah, I mean, that's okay. We've got a little bit of glowstone and redstone, so that's not bad. A lot of junk. I mean, string's kind of handy. Gunpowder might be handy. Actually, we could make regular TNT, but like zombie flesh, no. Spider eyes, not particularly. Arrows, no. Bones, empty glass bottles, not particularly exciting. But still, that's kind of cool. And now with that clay setup, we should be able to request like stupid amounts of the polymer clay, like, I don't know, 6,000, and yes, we could get 6,000 polymer clay. So we'll probably set some better automation up, but I really want to focus on getting this implosion compressor running. So I've hooked it up to power, and we've got all the automation set up. So I should just be able to do this. Stainless steel nuggets, I think, is something we don't know how to craft. So we should probably teach that. This goes in here somewhere. You can just go there. Industrial TNT. That's going to be the next thing. And that's just a mixer. And actually, that's really simple. That's actually really simple. I think I've even got a mixer here. Nice. That shouldn't be a problem. Now the fluids, that might be a different story. Toluene and nitrogen. Toluene comes from distillation cracked naphtha. We have that, and nitrogen is actually the thing I have the most of. We have 163 buckets of nitrogen, 163,000 buckets of nitrogen, and 782 buckets of toluene. So, yeah, I think that'll be pretty sweet. I don't think industrial TNT is going to be a problem. I remember looking at it initially and thinking, oh man, I'm going to have to craft TNT all the time. That's going to suck. But no. And that should be cool. We should now be able to craft industrial TNT. I don't know, 40. Go. And yeah, industrial TNT. Cool, that immediately went into the system. Now, does this actually work as regular TNT? Or is this like its own thing that's only used for crafting? It's not used like regular TNT. Okay. Well, that would actually be kind of funny to fill somebody's base with that and put a pressure plate next to it. And that'd be, well, I mean, I didn't test whether or not redstone triggers it. Huh. The cactuses, or the cacti, are growing fruit. I did not know that was a thing. Neat. Neat. I wonder if it's because we planted it here. But okay, cool. So industrial TNT does not explode at all. It is only used for crafting. That's cool. That's cool. So now we want to stop this process. Completely. We don't need you at all anymore. We can reclaim that channel. I can probably reclaim some cable. Because that was a very, slow way of making tungsten. So if we wanted to craft, I mean, okay, I guess we probably want to turn all of these nuggets into actual ingots. But if we wanted to craft a stack of these, this would have taken forever before. We just push start. That should be firing up our implosion compressor. Whoa, you are really fast. That is... Wow, that was extremely fast. Cool. Wow. Neat. Neat. Okay. That is a significant improvement. Cool. I don't think tungsten's much of a problem anymore. And I think those these blast-proof alloys, if we wanted to make another implosion compressor, which we don't, we still have to craft the mixed blast-proof ingots. That should actually be okay. Aside from the fact that we do know it will chuck stuff in here. But that crafts those. We're probably going to miss this happening. It's crafting tungsten. Does it take longer to craft blast-proof ingots? Or did we totally miss the craft happening? Oh, we just totally missed the craft happening because it happened so fast. Ah, that is sweet. Cool. So, yeah, that's a massive improvement. And we can now start thinking about a nuclear reactor. Mixed iridium ingots. So blast-proof alloys now not much of a problem, aside from needing titanium and stainless steel and stuff, which, you know, if we automated our drills and had them running constantly, that would not be a problem anymore. So that's not too bad. that's an implosion compressor recipe. That's not going to be much of a problem at all. Yeah. And then quantum circuits. I imagine these are pretty expensive. Helium-3. To centrifuge helium. Okay. Whoa. 1 bucket of helium becomes 5 millibuckets of helium-3? We're going to want to be processing shale oil. Yikes. We've got qubits, which needs cryofluid and tritium, which is nuclear irradiation, or we can do hydrogen stuff. A little bit advanced, a little bit advanced. The gravity chest plate would be fantastic, though. I think that's what we're going to work towards next. I'm working on getting ourselves superconductor cables, which needs cooling cells, superconductor wire, which needs heat exchangers and cryofluid. Heat exchangers need, I don't think I know stainless steel large plates. I think the rest of that's fine. And you know what? I'm going to start by crafting 64 stainless steel drills, which are going to end up not producing that helium or anything, but they're going to be very useful. 200 hours. I'm going to hope that's not going to take that long. Ooh, we should really do the... Wait, stainless steel bolts. We should really do the things that stop us needing those. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there for now. We've got a bit of stuff to get to. The reason I'm crafting those drills is because we need superconducting dust, which needs like yttrium, neodymium, and iridium. Iridium dust we're actually getting a little bit of from processing platinum, which comes from stainless steel drills, and yttrium and everything else comes from moissanite, which comes from... Well, if I found the ore, it comes from stainless steel drills. So once we get a bunch of them running, that's just going to get kept in stock. It's going to fire up this thing, and we'll end up with some more of that stuff. But I'm going to leave that running, because I think that's going to take a while. But hey, we got ourselves an implosion compressor, and crafting tungsten ingots is now, I have no idea how much faster. Like 1,000 times faster? It's something ridiculous. It's probably even more than that, because it used to take 200 seconds to produce 1 tungsten nugget, and now it takes like a fraction of a second to produce 1 tungsten ingot. So big improvement, big improvement. But anyway, it's been ClassicDuff. Thanks for watching. We'll come back next time for some more All of Fabric 5. See ya.